Hey, Kyle's Wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's NJPW G1 Night 17 from August 14th, 2022, live from Nagano, Japan. So G1 Climax hits Nagano's White Ring, an Olympic venue from the 1998 Olympics, on August 14th here, being the last night until the final league matches at the Budokan August 16th. Things are even more tense as ever. This is going to be great stuff tonight, and we've only got neither of those three big events at the Budokan after this: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we start with an 8-man tag match. It'll be Hirooki Goto stuck with the task of 3 young lions tonight: Kosei, Fujita, Ryohei, Oiwa, and Yuto Nakashima. They'll take on House of Torture, all 4 of them: Dick Togo, Evil, Show, and Yujiro Takahashi. So with the hopes of his family at home pushing him on, Goto has been in the strongest G1 position in years and could make it to the Final Four Tuesday with a victory over Evil. Today in Nagano, though, House of Torture will be making a physical statement against Goto and his No J Dojo partners here, especially after Fujita helped Zack Sabre Jr. to help beat the King of Darkness at Hiroshima. So this is going to be interesting here. We start the last event before the Budokan triple header with Evil's music playing as all 4 House of Torture members come out to absolute silence from the crowd. Goto then has his back against the wall in this one, only a few days before his big final league block match, tasked with leading all 3 young lions in the battle against the dirtiest cheating faction in all of New Japan Pro Wrestling, the House of Torture. So Young Lions have created their own little rivalry with House of Torture, with Fujita helping Zack Sabre Jr. beat Evil in 44 seconds in his last league match. Nakashima is going to start this match out with a man that is his father's age, Dick Togo, who Dick Togo gives up a little bit of size, but is able to use his experience to get a wrist lock applied. Nakashima shows some good technical skills here, reversing and taking Dick Togo to the mat, but Togo is able to get out of it and hit a shoulder tackle. Nakashima counters the next attack, however, with an arm drag. Nakashima applies a hammerlock on the arm right after, keeps wrist control while tagging in Oiwa. Then Togo pokes Oiwa right in the eye, but Oiwa is able to slam Togo right after. Togo then counters the charging Oiwa with the back elbow. Then Togo tags in Sho, who comes off the top rope, attacking the arm that Togo was holding of Oiwa. Yujiro now tags in. They hit a double team on the arm, further damaging Oiwa's arm. Yujiro then knocks the young lion down with one chop. Yujiro hits the haluva kick in the corner for a 2 count, but there's still some left in Oiwa. He's in a little bit of trouble, though. Evil tags in now, and he'd rather have Fujita in the match, but Evil's looking for some quick pins to get out of this one. Oiwa's able to kick out of him. The crowd cheers for Oiwa to fight back. Evil stops his comeback, but Oiwa counters the next attack right after that, hitting a nice drop kick. Now Goto tags in, and he quickens the pace right away, and he almost wins the match on a nice running like back elbow or something along those lines. Right here, Evil's just barely able to kick out. Then Evil catches a king and throws Goto's foot over to the referee. Evil hits a big free shot and then attacks Goto's arm. Goto's able to evade a corner attack, however, and hit a Russian leg sweep on Evil. Now Fujita and Sho tag in. Fujita takes him down with a back elbow. Sho rakes the eyes, however, but Fujita is able to hit a nice drop kick right after that. Then a triple team from all Young Lions takes Sho out with corner attack moves, ending with a belly-to-belly suplex from Fujita for a 2 count. Young Lions almost beat Sho here with a nice triple team. Fujita now applies a Boston Crab. Evil and Dick Togo into the ring, but Oiwa and Nakashima take them both down, applying Boston Crabs as well. So this is a big moment for all the fans who hate House of Torture, with 3 of them locked in Boston Crabs by the 3 Young Lions here. Eventually, of course, House of Torture get out, and then Fujita hits a big shot on Sho, but Sho counters the next attack with an arm bar, and that forces Fujita to tap out. The winners of this match by submission, House of Torture. But that was a great opening match here. Really cool stuff. Goto and Evil got to preview their big match before Tuesday, and Sho sends um what was it? Sho was trying to beat up the Young Lions here, but Goto is able to send him packing while holding onto his staff, Jara Jara. So they wanted to attack the Young Lions even further here. Evil doesn't exactly get his revenge on Fujita, but Sho gets the revenge on Evil's behalf. And that was a good moment for all the fans, having the Young Lions dominate the match for a minute there. So all three of the Young Lions really look good, but Fujita is the youngest and kind of looks like he's the best one already. So I do expect big things from Fujita. Oiwa and Nakashima also show a lot of fire, so it'll be interesting to keep an eye on their careers as we go through the years. Next match is a 2-on-2 tag match, and this should be a good one. It's TMDK's K9 Connection, Bad Dude Tito and JONAH taking on United Empire's Aaron Henare and Will Ospreay. So tag team action sees these teams collide with a lot of eyes will be on Ospreay and JONAH sharing the ring for the very first time, with Aaron Henare also hungry to end his G1 tour with a big win here, and he's looking to fight the big dog and the bad dude. Top dog, not big dog. It's not Roman Reigns. So K9 Connection, JONAH and Bad Dude Tito come out first. JONAH then still has never been pinned or submitted on this G1 tour. Just those two countouts have him in a little bit of doubt, but still in contention in A block. JONAH's still alive. If he beats Bad Luck Fale on Tuesday and Archer beats Okada, then there will be a three-way playoff match between Archer, Okada, and JONAH. So if JONAH loses, then the winner of Okada and Archer will win the block. And then Will Ospreay and Aaron Henare come out next. This is going to be a great tag team right here. They have everything a tag team needs other than a ton of chemistry, although they have been building their chemistry through 6- and 8-man tags. United Empire, of course, attack TMDK before the bell rings. I guess I shouldn't say of course. They don't always do that, but TMDK get attacked from behind at the bell rings. They double team JONAH right away, but JONAH's able to absorb the attacks. Will drop kicks the knee, taking JONAH to the mat, and then JONAH hits a body splash tackle on the outside of the ring, taking Ospreay out, who was out there with them. Tito and Henare will start the match. Tito is in control and gets Henare trapped into the TMDK corner. JONAH then tags in, hitting some elbow strikes, knocking Henare right down. JONAH then hits a corner splash. Tito tags in and hits a slingshot senton on his way in. Henare still has some fight left, kicking out at 2. Then Tito keeps the pace slow here, wearing out Henare a little more. The crowd cheers for Henare to fight back. So Tito then hits a snap suplex for another 2 count. The crowd claps for that as well, kind of cheering for both teams a little bit here. So Henare then absorbs forearms while he hulks up here and fires up. Henare hits a nasty elbow strike and a big kick. Ospreay now tags in. Tito had the chance to tag out here, but chose to go after Ospreay instead. Will hits a springboard kick right away, but Tito is able to avoid the phenomenal forearm. Tito then hits a blue thunder bomb on Ospreay. Will's able to counter the next attack, however, a charging Tito gets hit with a Spanish fly. That looked great. JONAH then tries to break the pin up with a splash, but Will Ospreay sees it coming and gets out of the way. JONAH accidentally splashes Tito. Now United Empire double team JONAH with big strikes that take the big 400-pounder out. Then Will Ospreay unleashes the hidden blade on Tito from behind. Never saw it coming, and that gets the 1, 2, 3. The winners of this match by pinfall, United Empire. Another really good match here, which is good that because we have 5 tag matches today with only 4 league block matches. But we do finish with the next one on Tuesday with 8. All 8 are block matches, so that's going to be awesome. And then this is when we find out that JONAH will be on commentary later tonight, and it's really, really good commentary. One of the first, one of the best people that had on their first try. We saw people like Lance Archer and Tom Lawler get better by the second time they got there, but like ELP was also good at his first time. Finley wasn't great at his first time, but JONAH, who is going to be on commentary later, is awesome on his first time. So hope to see JONAH there again, and definitely give Finley another chance at some point. Anyway, Juice then out of nowhere, Juice Robinson comes and attacks Will Ospreay from behind as United Empire are trying to leave. Then ELP, Chase Owens, and Bad Luck Fale are here as well. They take out Henare while Juice hits a pile driver on Will Ospreay right on the entrance ramp, and it looked nasty. So now Juice Robinson takes back possession of the IWGP United States title, and the Bullet Club music hits because the the four of them are in the next match. So wow, that was wild and unexpected. Rarely do you see something like that happen in New Japan. That was pretty cool. It was great. And now Juice has the title back before his big match Tuesday against Will Ospreay. That's wild how that all worked out after he lost it to Finley after Finley beat Juice. But now the U.S. title's just trading hands, kind of like the 24/7 or the hardcore title, except you don't even need pins. You just need to actually take the title belt, which is a good idea for a title. Not if they want to transition the 24/7 to something where as long as I pick it up, then I'm champion. So that'd be funny. Anyway, that was a really good match as well. Two good matches to kick us off. Let's get to the third one. It's an 8-man tag, and it will be, as we just saw, Bad Luck Fale, Chase Owens, El Phantasmo, and Juice Robinson. Bullet Club taking on all four members that are in the G1 tour anyway of Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Sanada, Shingo Takagi, and Tetsuya Naito. So before previews of critical A and B block matches, 8-man tag match here sees opponents face off. El Phantasmo and Shingo could either bring the Dragon into the Final Four or preserve the unprecedented 7-way tie, depending on what Finley and YOSHI-HASHI do later on tonight. With Juice Robinson and Naito also still in the hunt, as there's sure to produce a lot of hot action and salty language in this one. Bullet Club, of course, have already made their entrance after wrecking United Empire and, more importantly, taking out Will Ospreay ahead of his match against Juice Tuesday. This will help both Juice and ELP and Yujiro to a certain extent, another Bullet Club member, 3 Bullet Club members, a part of D Block, where they're trying to get the 7-way tie. That's the only way Juice and ELP, and like I said, Yujiro as well, can get a 7-way ties if Will Ospreay loses the Juice and if ELP can beat Shingo. So now they've kind of taken out Will Ospreay, hurt his neck. We'll see if that works for Juice to beat Will on Tuesday. But now they also have a chance to take out Shingo in this match as well, who ELP will have to beat on Tuesday. If Juice and ELP win those matches, we'll have our 7-way tie. But if YOSHI-HASHI is that's only if YOSHI-HASHI is able to defeat Finley later on. If Finley wins later on, Finley just wins the block. So we did just see YOSHI-HASHI get wrecked last night with a hidden blade less than 24 hours ago, but this is a good plan for Bullet Club to try and get that 7-way tie. They'll just have to hope that YOSHI-HASHI can win later on. Bushi now leads the LIJ contingent out, followed by Sanada, Shingo, and then Naito. Big claps for the crowd for Naito's entrance from the Nagano crowd. So Naito will have to beat Zack Sabre Jr. on Tuesday, but also needs Kenta to win in the main event tonight. And I'm not quite sure, but I think he needs Evil to beat Goto. But maybe that one I'm kind of unsure about how it works. But I think he needs Evil to beat Goto as well, and then I'll create a tie. But I'm not quite sure. That the only one I'm not quite sure about how going down is C. But you got to imagine if Naito still has a chance after all this, they're gonna keep him having a chance up to that Zack Sabre Jr. match. So of course. This is the one I should have said, of course, for. Of course, Bullet Club jump LIJ before they even get in the ring here, and an 8-man brawl breaks out to start this 8-man tag. Juice and Naito start the match in the ring with Juice in control. The rest of Bullet Club are attacking LIJ on the outside. Naito is able to turn it around and then hits combination Cabron on Juice. Sanada now tags in as the brawl had stopped. Juice blocks an attack, but Sanada locks him into the Paradise Lock. Bullet Club all rush the ring. They take out Sanada, but nobody frees Juice, who's still locked into a ball. And then Chase tags in. Still can't get Juice unlocked until he finally kicks Juice under the ropes to the outside of the ring. Chase hits a scoop slam on Sanada, then Fale tags in. They both stand on Sanada here as a double team. Then they have Sanada trapped into the Bullet Club corner here. ELP tags in, hits a top rope frog splash back rake here, and then Sanada fires up, and ELP grabs his nips. Sanada grabs the nips back. They now both have a hold of each other's nips. The referee makes them break on a 5 count. Can't believe I'm saying that out loud. Anyway, Sanada flips out of a suplex. Shingo now tags in, who might have some stitches in the back of his head after last night's hard chair shot to the back of his head. Shingo now fights off a double team from Juice and ELP, taking both men out and hitting a suplex on ELP. But ELP blocks a lariat, then hits a step up. A step up Insaguri knocks ELP right down from Shingo. Really good flurry there. A little preview of their match on Tuesday. ELP then blocks the sliding lariat attempt from Shingo and tags in Chase. Shingo then blocks the C trigger knee strike, and Shingo hits a DDT, but it was a little mistimed. That one looked a little bad. Bushi then tags in, and immediately the next move was bad as well, hitting a terrible looking T Harris. Barely got a hold of him with his feet. Then Bushi fights off a double team right after that. Chase runs in, and they double team. No, not Chase runs in. Naito runs in, and they double team Chase here with Bushi alongside, but Bushi gets a 2 count out of that. Chase simply hits the C trigger knee strike after a little bit of commotion to get everybody out of the ring, and this C trigger knee strike gets the 1-2-3 for Chase. The winners of this match are by pinfall are Bullet Club. So ELP and Shingo stare each other down. They're talking trash. That should be a great match on Tuesday, not one the sleep on, as it should be a great match, and B, have a lot riding on it. So Bullet Club did not hurt Shingo tonight, so they only got half of their plan done, because for both Juice and ELP to get through, they have to both win. They did not really hurt Shingo tonight, but they did hurt Will Ospreay. We'll see if their plan comes to fruition. Excuse me. Chase then steals more of the LIJ merch to sell on eBay later on. Then we see that Taiji Ishimori is on Japanese commentary as ELP2 sweets him, and we haven't seen Taiji Ishimori, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, since G1 started. Ishimori did have a few tag matches alongside Kenta against Tanahashi and Kushida right before G1 started, and then we saw, of course, Ishimori defeated Hiromu Tanahashi after Hiromu won Best of the Super Juniors, and that's where we saw Kushida return after being in WWE. So we've got another tag match next. This time it's 6-man tag action. Chaos represented by Kazuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, and Toru Yano. They'll take on Suzuki-gun, the same three trios team we saw last night as in Lance Archer, Taka Michinoku, and Zack Sabre Jr. So a preview of what will be a key match on Tuesday at the Budokan in A Block. So whether directly or not, Lance Archer and Okada clash on Tuesday. Meanwhile, with Zack Sabre Jr. and Naito set to take place on Tuesday as well, Zack Sabre Jr. could well be the final opponent for Okada or Archer come Thursday. So a tense 6-man preview will be the result out of this one. Archer storms down to the ring, of course, wrecking Young Lions on his way. Zack and Taka laugh at this as usual. So this is the second night in a row, like I said, we saw this trios team, as Tai Chi is back-to-back league matches the last 2 nights. So Zack and Archer didn't have any matches at the same time. That's why they were able to do that. Suzuki-gun finally won a tag match on this tour earlier in the week, but we're back to their losing ways last night, with Taka yet again losing the match for them. Chaos now comes out to Okada's music. Archer stares down Okada the entire time, including during his introductions. Okada's trying his best to ignore Archer here. Okada and Archer will start the match, however. Even after the bell rings, Archer's just staring a hole through Okada here, and then Archer tags in Taka while telling Okada 2 days and 2 days. So Archer didn't even want to mess with Okada here. Okada hits a big boot on Taka Michinoku, then gets back in Archer's face, who's on the apron. Archer just says, 2 days, you die. And Okada hits Taka one more time, then tags in Ishii. Taka hits a pump kick on Ishii, but Ishii hits a big shoulder tackle. Zack comes in, gets a shoulder tackle too. Archer comes in, absorbs the shoulder tackle, and then knocks down Ishii. Archer then gets back in Okada's face, who's over on the apron, and Archer tags in after that. He's now talking more trash to Okada while beating up Ishii, who can't get out of the Suzuki-gun corner. Archer and Okada are talking and distracting the referee, while Taka and Zack are taking cheap shots on Ishii. Now Zack tags in and twists Ishii's arm around, stomps on the arm for a 2 count, and then Ishii still's got fight left in him, but Zack hits some kicks. Ishii's having some trouble getting up after that, but does catch a kick. They counter each other back and forth a little bit here until Ishii finally hits a vertical suplex. Yano now tags in, immediately taking the turnbuckle pad off, and Zack yells at Yano, then stomps on the pad. Yano covers the pad and then takes the stomps himself. Yano then evades an attack after that, slapping the back of Zack's head, but Zack applies the Cobra twist right after that. Yano then gets to the rope. Zack applies it until a 4 count. Yano then evades this exposed turnbuckle shot and sends Zack Sabre Jr. into the exposed turnbuckle. They both look for backslide pins now. Zack eventually applies an ankle lock. Archer goes over the commentary and says that Okada gets nothing tonight. He's got to wait 2 days. So Taka then tags in and tells Archer that he wants to slam Archer on the Yano, but Archer blocks it, slams Taka down, but Yano evades the attack, then rolls up Taka, who just been slammed by his own man for the 1-2-3. The winners of this match by pinfall, Chaos. So Archer then tells Okada 2 days to his face one more time here, and then Archer leaves. Meanwhile, Zack is starting a fight on the outside with Ishii that the Young Lions have to break up. So Zack definitely needs to worry more about Naito on Tuesday and not picking fights with Ishii after matches here. So Okada stays in the ring last to thank all the fans here, but it's not time for intermission, so he didn't get a ton of time. We've got one more tag match before intermission, and it is a juicy one. So it will be Jado and Tama Tonga taking on Goto and Jay White. So double rivalry match here. B-Block will all come down to Tama Tonga and Jay White Tuesday at the Budokan, and the stars could not align better for Tama to potentially take his spot in the Final Four while also beating the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion and the catalyst behind his removal from Bullet Club. Yet there's right now, it's all just potential. And before the fateful clash in 48 hours, Tama will be showing that with Jada by his side here, Tama's expulsion from the group that he helped create also led to Goto turning back on a decades-long brotherhood with Jado, who's been desperate for a chance to face his former friend in a fair fight ever since. So Nagano might create just that opportunity tonight for double revenge. Tama Tonga comes out first with that terrible start to his music. It gets good after the intro, but it's like nails on a chalkboard for the first 15 seconds. Tama and Jado come out with their matching bodysuits, looking super focused for this one and for Tuesday as well. Tama finally gets to get his revenge on Jay White for kicking him out of Bullet Club and somehow convincing his younger brother Hikuleo to stay. Jay White comes out next with Goto. Undefeated Jay White has to get past Tama without losing B-Block. So don't forget about that. Tama has to defeat Jay White, but Jay White can get a draw. He can try to get the time limit draw. So Jay comes out in a really bad mood today, yelling and cussing at the fans. Jay faked a heat stroke to get out of the events Tuesday and Wednesday in Hiroshima so that he could just sit back and rest for 6 straight days. Now Jay last night got through the Tai Chi main event and just has to make sure that Tama doesn't beat him, like I said. Jay doesn't have to win that final match. So before the match starts, Goto stabs Jado in the eye with the switchblade pendant to start this match. Jay attacks Tama and they start brawling outside the ring. Goto and Jado are former longtime partners here, are battling in the ring. Jado gets the better of Goto, but Jay attacks from behind to get Goto the control. Jay just quickly goes right back outside to slam Tama again into the barricade. Jay tags in now, using his towel across the throat of Jado as Goto is attacking the referee, distracting the referee. Jado's looking like he hurt his leg even at some point here. Goto now tags in. He's playing around with Jado. Nothing happens for like a full minute here. The crowd start clapping because they want some action. Goto then does like things like washing the face with his boot, stuff like that. Not really exciting action here. Tama finally tags in, and so does Jay White, which is cool. So Tama gets the better of Jay with multiple strikes here, quickening the pace right away to his liking. Tama hits a big drop kick to counter Jay, but Jay then evades the corner splash. Tama blocks a Blade Runner attempt, then hits the splash in the corner he wanted earlier, followed by a back suplex on Jay. Jay then blocks a gun stun, but Tama blocks a sleeper suplex. Jay then counters with a DDT right after that. Great little preview for Tuesday. That match is going to be a banger. Goto then tags in, and Jado comes in for a double team on Goto. Tama hits the gun stun right after that for the 1-2-3. Winners of this match by pinfall, Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga, and Goto. So Jado, I should say. So wow, right after the match, we can't even process what just happened before Jay White comes from behind, hitting Tama Tonga hard with a chair. While the pinfall was happening, you could hear someone go into the barricade hard. Now we know it was Jado that got thrown into the barricade. As Jay White now comes in with a chair, the Young Lions try to help after the original chair shot, but they get hit with the chair as well. Jay White hits more chair shots on Tama Tonga, then hits the Blade Runner on Tama. So wow, Tama Tonga will only have 2 days to recover from this beatdown, with Jay White music now playing even though he lost this match. So that match should be the main event on Tuesday's Budokan show, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. But don't forget, like I said, Jay White does not have to win that match, so it might be a lot of Jay White stalling, trying to get the time limit draw. But Jay White, kind of almost better than anybody, is good at talking to the crowd, talking trash, and being entertaining while like making the match longer, if you know what I mean. Kind of like how what we saw in the Okada Dominion match, where it was like 45 minutes, but only really 15-20 minutes of action. So it's going to be one of those matches, not for everybody, but it's going to be full of story, full of drama. So it's going to be a good one, probably the main event of Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to that one. Tama refuses any help here. He just stumbles his way to the back, wanting to not have any help. So now it's intermission time. We'll have JONAH on commentary, who does really great for his first time on commentary, and it'll be 4 league block matches here, 1 from each block. So we start with a really important one in D block, where there's the possibilities of the 7-way tie are still open, with only 3 matches left in D block. There's still a possibility of a 7-way tie, but that could all end tonight. YOSHI-HASHI must win this match or he's eliminated from even the 7-way tie. And then Finlay, if he wins, he will win the block. So if Finlay wins this match, he is the D block winner, already holding tiebreakers over both Will Ospreay and Shingo. So the delicate balancing act in D block saw another precarious night last night, with Shingo defeating Yujiro to bring himself to 6 points. Will Ospreay joined the mix at 6 by defeating YOSHI-HASHI, meaning all 7 are incredibly still alive. Early leader David Finlay has the power to make all the Jenga blocks fall down tonight with a win over YOSHI-HASHI, as he has those tiebreakers I talked about, meaning that the hottest contested block of the 4 might be the first to be entirely decided if Finlay can get the win here. So the headhunter will YOSHI-HASHI will be fighting to ensure that doesn't happen. In his best career G1, he may be at 2-3 against the wall, with his back against the wall right now, but his shoulder, it was severely compromised in the Ospreay match last night, and it's still, he has a glimmer of hope. His trademark never say die attitude will be on full display tonight as he tries to keep his and everyone else in the block's hopes alive. So the rest of D block are all rooting for YOSHI-HASHI in this match, because if David Finlay wins it, it's over. Really looking forward to this one. Both men also seem like they're great friends behind the scenes, just like Will Ospreay and YOSHI-HASHI were last night. So they should have great chemistry coming into this match. David Finlay comes out first, looking confident at coming into his final match of his first ever G1, where all Finlay has to do is win against YOSHI-HASHI to win the block. This is a dream scenario. And then, yeah, JONAH is already sounding very confident on commentary, and JONAH talks about his rivalry with David Finlay, also taking out David's brother. And then JONAH says that all the Finlays are scared. So JONAH is still in character here, but also very relaxed, very confident, and great. He might be one of the best first-time commentators we've had all tour. So YOSHI-HASHI comes out next, having trouble keeping his head held high here. YOSHI-HASHI is definitely toughing out a bad shoulder and is still feeling the effects from that hidden blade less than 24 hours ago. Finlay has a notoriously bad shoulder as well, so maybe YOSHI-HASHI might want to look to attack that. Immediately, Finlay, right when the match starts, goes after the bad shoulder of YOSHI-HASHI, and JONAH says, "Look, more cowardly Finlay acts." And then Yoshi gets a headlock applied, but Finlay turns it around into a 2 count. Yoshi doesn't break the headlock. YOSHI-HASHI then hits a shoulder tackle out of it, and Finlay blocks a waist lock, but YOSHI-HASHI hits another shoulder tackle right after. Yoshi then blocks a kick and unloads a big chop here. Finlay shows that he has a big chop as well, but another chop from YOSHI-HASHI takes Finlay down to the mat. Finlay's able to attack the bad arm right after that and takes YOSHI-HASHI down on the shoulder first really hard. And this is a big move move here. Finlay then goes for an armbar, but YOSHI-HASHI gets to the ropes right away. JONAH's making fun of Finlay more for taking the coward's way out, attacking the weak point here. Finlay then tries to hit a plancha to the outside. Or no, he does. Finlay is successful with this plancha to YOSHI-HASHI. JONAH's already made me laugh a few times, so he's really, really good at commentary. He definitely reminds me of Kevin Nash on commentary. So Finlay then hits a ton of stomps in the corner, targeting the early injured shoulder over and over with those stomps. Finlay then tells him to get up or just give it up now, and Finlay hits a snapmare takeover into a hammerlock on that bad arm. Yoshi eventually gets to the ropes, but is in big trouble now, and we've only hit the 5-minute mark. Yoshi then able to drop kick the knee, buying him a little bit of time to recover. YOSHI-HASHI then hits a big chop to and some knees to the gut, followed by a headhunter blockbuster. The crowd's really loving this match, and it is really good. So YOSHI-HASHI then follows that up with a neck breaker with a 2 count for a 2 count, and then it's going to take a lot more than that to beat Finlay when Finlay can get this close and can taste the black win. He's so close. So a forearm battle now breaks out. Finlay starts to hit multiple, but Yoshi fires up, hits a combo here. Finlay fires back, but YOSHI-HASHI gets a backslide pin for a 2 count. Then Finlay hits 3 Irish Curse backbreakers in a row. YOSHI-HASHI's just barely able to kick out of this at 2. Finlay signals for the end, but YOSHI-HASHI is able to block the Trash Panda attempt, then hitting a rewind kick that sends Finlay to the apron. Finlay baits YOSHI-HASHI coming in close so that he could hyperextend the arm of Yoshi, the bad arm, over the ropes. Back in the ring now, Finlay is able to hit a stunner, getting a 2 count. Finlay almost won that block, the entire block right there. YOSHI-HASHI still has a little bit of fight left, but is going to have to be careful. Finlay now hits a blue thunder bomb, but again, YOSHI-HASHI has the fight left inside the kick out. The crowd's really into this match, and yeah, this is a great match. YOSHI-HASHI blocks another Trash Panda attempt, hitting a super kick, but Finlay's able to come back in with a rebound lariat. Both go down, but I can't even tell who gets this roll-up pin, but all of a sudden I hear the referee count 1, 2, 3, and then we're told the winner of this match by pinfall, YOSHI-HASHI. So wow, that was a close call. Finlay almost winning the block. Even when the referee counted 3, I wasn't even quite sure whose shoulders were even on the mat. Really close match here. Poor David Finlay losing his last 2 block matches. All he needed to do was get 2 points out of those final 2 matches. 1 win would have been enough for him to get the block win. But now Finlay will have to hope that Juice Robinson, of all people, and ELP win their matches against Shingo and Will Ospreay on Tuesday, because if anybody gets over 6 points, Finlay will be eliminated, as will everyone else. So with it right now, somehow with 2 matches only left remaining, both on Tuesday, the possibility of a 7-way tie is still on the table. If Shingo wins, he will win the block, having the tiebreaker already against Will Ospreay. If Ospreay wins and Shingo loses, Ospreay wins D block. But if both lose, the Juice and ELP, the D block finishes in a 7-way tie at 6 points. And I know a lot of people are really hoping that happens. I've heard rumors of what it could be, but nobody knows what it could be. It could be a 7-way match, 1 fall to a finish. It could be a 7-man battle royal, a 7-man tournament with someone getting a bye. We have no idea how they're going to decide a 7-way tie, but I really, really am excited to find out. I hope that happens. Maybe maybe it'll be something crazy like one of those pinfall count matches that Shingo and Taichi had a couple months ago for the KOPW trophy, where every single second that you pin someone down to the mat, you get a point. Imagine that, but with 7 people for a 10-minute span. Whoever gets the most counts on a pin wins. That would be ridiculous. So I doubt it's going to be that wild, but it is going to be wild if that happens. With a D block win and a semifinal spot on the line, whatever it should be, but it would be amazing. Of course, either Will Ospreay or Shingo could just win the block on Tuesday. They were both the favorites to win the block before it even started. So, but it would be a huge tease to get this close to a 7-way tie and then not do it. So it's probably what I'm looking forward to second most on Tuesday, just behind the Tama Tonga Jay White match, but also Naito and Zack Sabre Jr. should be epic as long as that match still means something and the block's not already decided. But again, maybe New Japan's not going to get this close to Naito coming back from 0-2 down just to have the block decided before his last match happens. But don't forget, Goto could fight Evil after the Naito Zach match on Tuesday. So we never know how they're going to do this. We don't know what's going to happen. Meanwhile, A Block is still up in the air as well. It could come down to a triple threat match against JONAH, Okada, and Lance Archer in a playoff match. And Archer fights Okada on Tuesday, as well as JONAH taking on Badlek Fale. So Tuesday is shaping up to be one of the best events in any company anywhere. The stakes on the line, the drama, 8 league matches, almost all of them have something meaning behind them, with all kinds of crazy scenarios that, unprecedented scenarios now that we've done, or we have a different format. So really looking forward to that. We still got 3 block matches to talk about tonight. This next one is a little bit different, as both men are already eliminated. So 24 hours after battling Jay White in the main event last night, Tai Chi takes on Great-O-Khan in his last league match. Having had a G1 debut that was centered around finding his place in the ring and making strategic choices based on his cornucopia of talents. Expectations were high for Okan to threaten the top spots in this tournament. However, he went out a little early. Yet a win over Tomohiro Ishii aside, the Dominator has not lived up to that name during this tournament. Tai Chi will be able to threaten the top spot, or was able to threaten the top spot up until last night, but now he doesn't have a chance either. So a distinctively unwanted match here for both men who are already out. Let's see what they do with it. Great-O-Khan comes out first, doing his usual undead Mongolian shtick. Then Tai Chi gets introduced by Miho Abe, who finally works the day in this tournament without Peter being at the same show for the first time all G1. So Tai Chi wants to start this match with some sumo wrestling, one of his specialties. Great-O-Khan lays on the mat. He wants to grapple and do amateur style wrestling, grappling instead. So they just basically stare at each other back and forth, wanting to do each other's style, but neither willing to give in. The referee eventually yells at them. Neither will give in to the other's strength. So then they lock into the middle, and it will start with a sumo wrestling match here. So Great-O-Khan's like, screw it. Nobody gets the advantage here. They both block a sumo throw back and forth. JONAH is on commentary. Don't forget, he said, I would destroy them both in a sumo match. With his size, probably he would, even with Tai Chi's technique. Eventually, Tai Chi is able to get the sumo throw to win this little sumo match that broke out inside of our pro wrestling match. 5 minutes have already passed. Now they both try shoulder tackles, then big boots, but both were even on both shots. Okan hits a Mongolian chop, but Tai Chi hits the axe bomber. Then Tai Chi tries for the Yokozuna elbow, but Okan counters this with a judo throw. That was really great looking. Okan then applies the sheep killer. Okan uses the iron claw to transition into a dominator attempt, but Tai Chi blocks it. Then Great-O-Khan blocks a Black Mephisto, and applying the claw again, Tai Chi counters the eliminator again. So the Goto then Gato clutch here almost pins Great-O-Khan, who's able to kick out, but then Okan gets a nice pin himself, allowing the referee to count the 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Great-O-Khan. Great-O-Khan then does a sumo bow and gives Tai Chi a nod of respect before leaving, waving the United Empire flag high. So this was a nice exhibition match here, with both men already being eliminated. It was a sumo match, something a little bit different. It was short and sweet, and it also had some nice counters and pins after the sumo match. So good stuff all in all. Nothing too offensive. Miho Abe then consoles Tai Chi, who's disappointed that he didn't even get to rip his pants off. So I would definitely love. I had a little bit of time here. I was thinking about how Tai Chi and Sonata kind of have that weird partnership, yet they're rivals as well, but they're kind of brothers at the same time. I would love to see both get away from Suzuki-gun and Lij, and I think it would be great for both men, Sonata and Tai Chi, if they could transition away from their current stables, form a tag team, and then see, after a successful tag team run, if they could become single stars. Because Sonata and Tai Chi, as they currently stand, are kind of just background players in their stables. Maybe not even the top 1 or 2 in their stable. So I would love to see that happen. Also, last night, who was it? Somebody mentioned it was Will Ospreay was mentioning that YOSHI-HASHI also, he would love to see YOSHI-HASHI step out of Okada's shadow just like Ospreay did. So that got me thinking maybe a new stable. I know I'm just in the middle of G1 fantasy booking, but in the new stable formed with Sonata, Taichi, YOSHI-HASHI. Then you could maybe add Master Wato and Alex Zane, who are about to form a new tag team in the junior heavyweight division. I could definitely see Sonata, Taichi, YOSHI-HASHI, Master Wato, and Alex Zane all hanging out together and looking good as a unit. I don't know what they would call themselves. I don't know who the leader would be. Maybe YOSHI-HASHI, an aloof man leader. I don't know, but I think it would be something different, and it would give Sonata and Taichi a chance to maybe take that next step in their career. Otherwise, they're just going to end their careers kind of on that Ishii level where you never truly extend past a certain point to the main event. And I think that'd be a shame. Both Taichi and Sonata do have stuff to offer, and I think of a refreshing of their gimmicks and like their styles and maybe what they wear and what their gimmicks are and just everything. Bringing Sonata and Taichi together as a tag team, then seeing how that works and seeing if one, if not both, could transition into single stars after that point. So we've got a big A block, monster block match next. Jeff Cobb taking on Tom Lawler. And Tom Lawler comes in at 2-3, already eliminated. Jeff Cobb still alive. He's at 3-2. He must win tonight. Jeff Cobb must win, and then he has to have JONAH and Okada lose on Tuesday. So Tom Lawler and Jeff Cobb meet for the first time in a New Japan ring on Sunday, but these two opponents know each other very well, with the singles record going 4 wins to Tom Lawler, only 2 for Jeff Cobb. And you could really show tonight because they had a great chemistry in their match tonight. So definitely big match here. Jeff Cobb has to win this one and hope things go his way as well. Jeff Cobb comes out first looking confident and focused. Tom Lawler dances his ring to the way to the ring as usual, but also looking focused. So they start this match out with some amateur style wrestling. Tom's going to have to be careful because not only is Jeff Cobb much larger, but he went to the Olympics as a wrestler. So Tom's going to have to look for holds instead. But we saw Jeff Cobb took his wrist tape off before the match. So Jeff Cobb is looking to slip out of holds easier. Naturally sweaty as well is Jeff Cobb. So it's going to be hard for Tom to find a body part in this match. Tom then tries for arm control here, but Jeff Cobb hits some big forearms. Tom then tries leg kicks instead, but Cobb hits a big fallaway slam. Tom then counters a corner uppercut attempt with a sleeper hold. Cobb is able to break the hold by falling out of the ring, and Tom lands pretty hard on the outside. They start a striking battle on the outside of the ring. Cobb goes to the throat here with a shot. Jeff then looks at JONAH for a second, and that tiny second of lapse of concentration allows Tom to apply an armbar, but at the outside of the ring, forced to break the hold here. But Jeff Cobb gets slammed. Wait, no, it wasn't forced to be broken. Jeff Cobb slammed Tom hard into the apron to break the hold here on an armbar outside of the ring. So Cobb then hits 2 big liver shots to the back of Tom, who's now super hurting after those big shots. Rolling back in the ring does Tom. Jeff Cobb follows for some more strikes, then hits that nasty corner uppercut that he was looking for earlier, the one that was countered into a sleeper hold. Tom was too hurt to counter it this time. Now we're at the 5-minute mark. Cobb then surfs on Tom's back and hits a nasty short arm clothesline. Tom then grabs a leg, but Cobb strikes his way out of the hold. Tom's on the back, hitting Inoki style kicks to the Jeff Cobb's leg from his back here. Then does like a monkey flip type maneuver to get an armbar applied on Jeff Cobb, but Cobb has enough power and stamina left in him to get out. Tom transitions into a leg bar, but Cobb is able to strike his way out. Cobb then throws Tom Lawler halfway across the ring with a giant suplex. There's the Matanza of old from Lucha Underground. Tom blocks the pump handle throw here and then hits divorce court and applies a few holds in a row, ending with an ankle lock. Really great wrestling in this match. Jeff Cobb then strikes again, but Tom is able to slam Cobb head first in the mat. Wasn't even sure what the move was, but Jeff Cobb's head did hit the mat hard. That gets a 2 count. There's still some fight in Jeff, but he's really dazed from that headshot to the mat. Tom quickens the pace here, noticing that, hitting a bunch of running elbows in a row. Tom now applies a guillotine. Cobb still has some power and stamina left to get out. Tom just leaps off the rope, reapplying the guillotine, and Cobb is able to get out with a great looking running suplex. So what a match. This match is must watch. Do not miss this Jeff Cobb Tom Lawler match. So both men are now down on the ground, slapping each other. Once they get to their knees, it turns into forearms. Then Jeff Cobb tries to headbutt, but he's too dazed to even unleash the headbutt. So Tom hits multiple strikes in a row as they get to their feet. Tom then hits a Kamangori kick and a spinning heel kick to the back of Jeff Cobb right after. Then Tom hyperextends Jeff Cobb's arm twice, then hits multiple forearms, but Jeff hits a super kick. Tom stays on his feet, hitting a nasty punch on Jeff Cobb, and they both go down. Cobb eventually ducks under a penalty kick attempt from Tom Lawler, and Cobb hits a great looking German suplex, getting off the ground with a nice agility there, keeping a waistlock and hitting a second one, and goes for a third. But on the third German attempt, Tom Lawler counters it into an armbar. Jeff Cobb is able to get out and hit a big. Tom hits that big penalty kick right after Jeff Cobb gets out. Tom then hits a big knee strike to the face as well, only for a 2 count, but Jeff Cobb is very dazed now. So Tom looks to end it with the KNOTB, but Jeff Cobb overpowers Tom, having a little bit of strength left here. Tom hits a regal plex that sends Cobb crashing on his head. Then Tom hits the nasty knee on the brain for the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Filthy Tom Lawler. And wow, again, this match was great. Do not miss this one. Maybe the match of the night. The main event is good as well, but definitely watch the last 2 matches if you watch nothing else on this night of the action. Royce Isaacs then helps Tom up to his feet as the crowd does the clap, the filthy clap, as they are absolutely loving Tom Lawler on this tour. And I had completely forgotten that was the semi-main event. They definitely deserved the spot to be in the semi-main event. That was a phenomenal match. Fantastic match. Great stuff. And I definitely hope to see more of Tom in G1, not just in G1, but in Japan for other events as well. So this eliminates Jeff Cobb from competition, who Jeff Cobb now goes to 3-3 and is out of the running in the A monster block after having such a good G1 last year, only to be interrupted by eventual winner Okada. This year, Jeff Cobb lost to Okada again at the first night of G1. Found it tough to get back from that in a block full of monsters where Jeff Cobb likes to be the bigger man in the match so he can toss people around the ring with a suplex. But even in this match, Jeff Cobb was outmatched with the superior grappling, at least in the arm holds and leg holds and stuff like that of Tom Lawler. So a little bit disappointing for Jeff Cobb in his G1 this year after such a great one last year. But he did have a good showing for himself. He didn't embarrass himself whatsoever. So Tom was already eliminated, but this is a big win for Tom Lawler, who's been on a very emotional journey. And speaking of emotional journey, our main event is next. So in C block, it will be Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kenta. Kenta's already been eliminated. He's at 2-3, but he wants to take his rival here, Tanahashi, down with him. Tanahashi must win, and he still needs Naito to beat Zack Sabre Jr. So Tanahashi comes in at 3-2. The singles record between these two are tied 3 apiece. So after a disappointing stretch of G1 performances from 2019 to 2021, Hiroshi's Tanahashi is in his best position to win the tournament since his last overall victory in 2018, but still does not even control his own destiny, needing a win and Tuesday's night's results to go his way. So Tanahashi could be waiting on the sidelines with bated breath on Tuesday, or he might be already knocked out if he can't get past Kenta. So Kenta definitely, after the wild street fight at the Tokyo Dome, Tanahashi captured the United States gold from Kenta, but also a terrifying plunge through a table left Kenta with a ton of injuries. He's got giant scars on his back to show those injuries to this date. Kenta was gone for almost 8 months, and Kenta has been wanting revenge on Tanahashi ever since then. Tanahashi wasn't the one that wanted it to be a street fight, but still, Kenta blames Tanahashi for the 8 months and all the big scars on his body now. Kenta comes out first looking like a lost child here, and then Tanahashi comes out for his 5th main event of this G1 out of his only 6 matches. So you never know if this could be the last G1 match ever for Tanahashi. I wouldn't bet on it, but Tanahashi could get injured for 2 years, and he would still want to be in G1 Climax 35. So I wouldn't count it as Tanahashi's last one ever, but you never know. So that's something to think about going into this match. I mean, of course, if Tanahashi can win the block, he'll have another one this year, but you never know if he'll win the block, and you never know if he'll join again. So it's sometimes you never know if it's going to be somebody's last match or in a last match in a particular tournament or whatever. So, or last time in the main event. So things like that, when they're getting towards the twilight of their career, you need to keep an eye on. Anyway, another legend who was tearing up New Japan Pro Wrestling, Noah, I should say, Kenta takes on Tanahashi, who at the very same time was tearing up New Japan. So this was a dream match back then, and even though we've seen it a few times now, it does have all the added story of the Wrestle Kingdom street fight that injured Kenta, and now also another G1 match with everything on the line for Tanahashi. So the match starts a little bit slow here. Kenta goes and gets a chair, throws it at the feet of Tanahashi. Tanahashi just picks it up and starts playing air guitar on the chair. This absolutely enrages Kenta, who goes on the attack right away, hitting some punches and a running elbow. Then Kenta snapmares Tanahashi down, kicks him hard in the back. Kenta applies a chin lock as the crowd's now rallying for Tanahashi to fight back. Tanahashi applies a headlock and Kenta gets to the ropes. Tanahashi hits some big body punches after that. Kenta charges in and Tanahashi hits a back elbow, then a springboard crossbody. Kenta gets some shots on Tanahashi, but Kenta gets knocked off the apron hard into the barricade with a kick from, or just kind of like a leg push from Tanahashi. That looked pretty painful. 5 minutes have passed now. Kenta hits a Yakuza kick that knocks Tanahashi off the apron now, and Kenta throws him hard into the barricade himself, both taking hard barricade shots. Kenta takes Tanahashi out past the barricade now and hits a DDT on the hardwood floor of the gym here. Kenta then hits multiple big, nasty chest kicks, and Kenta throws Tanahashi into the lighting truss, making the lights go out for a little bit. Then Tanahashi gets rammed into the ring post, back in the ring. Tanahashi kicks out at 2. He's not going to be taken out quite yet. Kenta then drops a few stiff elbows right onto Tanahashi's wind, like in his taking the wind out of Tanahashi in his ribs and stomach area. This was draining the stamina hard of Tanahashi here. Now Kenta applies a body scissors, attacking that same area. The crowd's willing Tanahashi to keep fighting here. Kenta hits a neck breaker after Tanahashi gets to the ropes. But Tanahashi fires up after the neck breaker. Kenta takes him right back down, then crushes Tanahashi with a jumping knee drop again on that on the gut and ribs area. Kenta applying another body scissors, but this time Tanahashi applies a heel hook that forces Kenta to get to his ropes himself, breaking both holds. Kenta then hits more stiff kicks, but Tanahashi catches one, hits some forearms. Kenta hits a knee to the gut, but Tanahashi blocks the haluva kick in the corner here. Tanahashi holds on to the leg, hitting a dragon screw leg whip on Kenta right after. Kenta's going to have damaged knee going forward. Tanahashi has hurt ribs big time, and his stamina has been drained. Tanahashi quickens the pace, however, hitting a running forearm, then a striking combo, followed by a scoop slam and a middle rope somersault senton. The crowd absolutely loved that, and they're loving this match. It's definitely been pretty good so far, but I'm hoping it goes in the next gear soon, and it does. Right as I write that, both men now block attacks back and forth until Kenta hits a power slam to counter a charging Tanahashi. But Tanahashi blocks a waist lock right after with some back elbows. Kenta's able to hot shot Tanahashi over the ropes, then hit a top rope lariat for a 2 count. Tanahashi still has a lot of fight left in him, as his G1 is on the line. If he loses, he's out. Kenta uses some closed fist punches in a row here. Then the crowd's super loud for Tanahashi to fire up. So Tanahashi hulks up and absorbs some strikes here and then unloads shots. Both men are hitting shots back and forth. They pick up the pace, hitting a ton of forearms and punches and stuff. The referee accidentally gets hit. Then Tanahashi absolutely slaps the life out of Red Shoes, the referee, maybe breaking his jaw. So Kenta ducked under that shot, and now Red Shoes is down on the mat, knocked out from that shot from Tanahashi. Kenta immediately goes under the ring and pulls out a crutch. This harkens back to how Tanahashi injured Kenta. So Kenta hits a bunch of crutch shot on the ribs and body that he was already targeting in the match. Tanahashi's in big trouble now after all these crutch shots. The referee's been knocked out cold. and the crowd's trying to will Tanahashi back into this match, maybe even waking up the referee with their claps, who's still out cold. Kenta hits another DDT outside of the ring onto the hardwood floor. Now Kenta goes under, gets the ring announce table and sets it up ringside. Now the crowd is completely silent as they don't want to see anybody go to the table after what we saw at Wrestle Kingdom. You could hear a pin drop in that building. Then Kenta bangs Tanahashi's head on the table, setting Tanahashi on the table. Now the crowd gets loud as Kenta's hitting closed fist punches, and the crowd gets loud for Tanahashi to get up and move. Tanahashi does get up before Kenta can dive off the top rope. Now they're both on the top rope, and Kenta's going in the desperation mode here to avoid going a superplex from the top rope to the outside through a table. So Kenta goes in the desperation mode and is able to knock down Tanahashi off the corner. Kenta then gets off and hits the Green Killer draping DDT back in the ring. Kenta's now yelling at Red Shoes, the referee, to wake up. The referee does start to stir and get to his feet. Kenta hits the double stomp from the top rope, but Tanahashi has fire in his heart still to kick out somehow. And wow, also somehow 20 minutes have already passed. Remember when I said I can't wait for this match to go in the second gear? Well, it went into a couple more gears, and it's really, really good. Somehow we got all the way to 20 minutes, and it felt like nothing. It felt like it was a 10-minute match when they said 20. Kenta now picks up the table, throws it hard into Tanahashi's head. Tanahashi counters the GTS attempt into a twist and shout. Tanahashi's all fired up, but still hurting. Kenta counters the sling blade here, but Tanahashi counters the GTS attempt again, this time hitting the sling blade, and then another sling blade right after for a 2 count. Tanahashi goes up to the top rope, hits the Ace's high fly flow, but Tanahashi goes back up, and Kenta gets his knees up for the regular high fly flow right to the injured ribs and midsection of Tanahashi. So that was a big move there. Kenta now hits the Psycho knee for only a 2 count. Tanahashi counters the GTS again with a roll-up, getting a 2 count. Kenta now hits some massive strikes and basically looks like he knocked out Tanahashi with a palm strike. Kenta then hits a knee to the face and looks to end it with the GTS, connecting with it, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Kenta. Wow, that match started a little bit slow, but they really took you on a journey, and before you knew it, 20 minutes had passed. Both men now finished 3-3 and are done with their G1s. Tanahashi has been eliminated. Wow. So you never know, but you never know how things pan out, but that could have been the final G1 match of Hiroshi Tanahashi. But you damn well know he's going to do everything it takes, put himself together with glue and tape so that he can break the record that he tied this year, 21 years, tying Hiroshi Tenzan, and now he wants to have 22 years. So I doubt it'll be Tanahashi's final ever G1 match, but you never know with these things. So remember this match. If this was the final one, what a way to go out. Really good match between two of the this era's Mount Rushmore, as they were talking about on the broadcast. They probably would be in the 2010s Mount Rushmore of Japan for sure. So really good match here between the two guys. Kenta then sits over Tanahashi's fallen body and mockingly claps. Oh yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, it was a great show. So both men 3-3, like I said. Kenta's clapping over the fallen body here. Kenta's talking trash. The Young Lions then get yelled at. Kenta says, "Get Tanahashi out of my ring," basically. Unfortunately, Chris isn't on commentary tonight, so no live translations from Kenta's victory speech. So check back in on this same channel in about 12 hours. I'll have a backstage comments separate video where we'll go through everybody's comments, and including what Kenta says here, which it looks like it was really good. The crowd laughs and claps a lot. Kenta finds a little boy with his book in the crowd. Kenta says something to make the crowd laugh about 20 times during this promo. Kenta has been amazing. I love his backstage comments, so I cannot wait to see the translations to see what Kenta says. Kenta signs the book for the little kid, and then two sweets him, and then two sweets another little kid on the way back to the backstage. So back there, Kenta talks a lot as well, so that should be great. Check out my backstage comments video. So now we only have the 3 Budokan events left starting on Tuesday. We've got 8 block matches. I'll just go in no particular order. On Monday, we will find out what the order is. I'm sure it'll be Tama Tonga and Jay White in the main event, but I'm just going to go in no particular order other than by block, starting with A block, the 2 matches on the final night. So we've got these 8 matches, the final night of block action, start us on the Budokan triple header. The second night will be the semifinals and any of the playoff matches. And then the final night will be the finals. That's on Thursday, all in a row, all at the Budokan. So at the first night of Budokan, at the end of the block stage, it will be Lance Archer taking on Kazuchika Okada in a winner-take-all match. Basically, JONAH still has a chance if he beats Fale and Archer wins. So we'll see. It could turn into a triple threat match. So it's not necessarily winner take all, although Bad Luck Fale might beat JONAH before they have their match, and it could turn into a winner take all. But that's how the A block is looking. You got Lance Archer versus Okada is the big match, but JONAH still has to beat Bad Luck Fale and hope that Archer beats Okada. Or maybe it's the other way around. I'm getting confused now that I'm thinking about everything. But let's just go to B block. We've got a lame duck match will happen. It'll be Tomohiro Ishii taking on Sonata. Nothing can affect the end. Both men are already eliminated. But that's the only lame duck match we've got for the entire 8. So that'll probably start the night. Tomohiro Ishii taking on Sonata. But the big one is probably the main event, B block. Tama Tonga finally getting his hands on Jay White in a singles match. Might be able to win the block, might be able to win himself a title shot later on, and might still have a chance to wrestle main event Wrestle Kingdom. So everything on the line in this one. Jay White has his undefeated 5-0 streak on the line as well. So that'll probably be the main event in B block, Tama Tonga versus Jay White. The other match, Tomohiro Ishii and Sonata, is a lame duck match. In C block, it's still meaningful with Goto in the race. He takes on Evil. Goto takes on Evil. The C block leader at the moment, Zack Sabre Jr., can wrap it up with a win over Naito. If Naito wins, then we might get some tie-break situations that we'll have to look at. But Naito takes on Zack Sabre Jr. on Tuesday in one of the big high-profile matches, maybe even the semi-main event. But they could run that match before Goto and Evil so that everything's still in question. You don't know which order. Both those matches are going to be important, and C block is going to be interesting to see how that one ends as well. Then D block, everybody knows now what happens because we're so interested in the 7-way tie. We can still get the 7-way tie in D block if El Phantasmo beats Shingo and if Will Ospreay beats if El Phantasmo beats Shingo and if Juice Robinson beats Will Ospreay. If Shingo wins, he wins the block. If Ospreay wins, he has to hope Shingo loses, and then Ospreay will win the block. But if Shingo and Will Ospreay lose, it is a 7-way tie, and it's going to be amazing. Whatever happens with the 7-way tie will then take place at the next night on Wednesday. So we've got a lot to look forward to coming up. We've got a couple days break here, and then we'll be back at it. So only 1-day break. So don't go too far. We've got a triple header coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll be back in 12 hours or so with the backstage comments. We'll find out what made the crowd laugh so much with Kenta. So check back in about 12 hours. I'll have the translated backstage comments so we can find out what Kenta said. And then we've only got 1-day break, and we got a huge triple header at the Budokan, starting with 8 league matches, with 7 of them still having meaning. Only one of those 8 is a lame duck match. So it's going to be really great on Tuesday. Wednesday might have at least 1, probably 2 playoff matches we might have on Tuesday. Not only the semifinal matches, but it might be a triple threat with Archer, Okada, and JONAH, and it might be some kind of crazy 7-way tie as well. So Tuesday, Wednesday, also looking great. Then Thursday, we've got, of course, the finals. But along with the finals, we might find some stuff out about what's going to happen in New Japan going forward in September at all the Burning Spirit, I think, is the next events, the next tour they're doing. Let me check. I don't have it right up here, but it won't take me long to look. So the September events are Burning Spirit, and those events are when we're going to get some crowd. The crowd is going to be less of them allowed in the building, but they'll finally be able to start cheering. So right when we finish G1, we got this triple header where we got all kinds of surprises coming up. We'll probably get a ton of surprises on Thursday, which is the finals. That will set us up for September. September is the Burning Spirit tour, and that's when we finally get fans that are going to be able to use their voices again. And not only that, yes, yes, it'll be less people in the building to allow that. But what they're going to do is really cool. Everybody's going to be shepherded in different sections depending on what stable you like. So all the Chaos fans are going to be in one part of the arena. All the LIJ fans, all the Bullet Club fans, so on and so forth. Maybe 3 guys in the House of Torture section. Probably smelling terrible. So anyway, I'm going to get going. Check back in 12 hours for the comments video, and then I'll be back here in about 48 hours for the big review of the final league block night. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll talk to you again real soon. Peace.